Hey, Peter.
Hey.
It's number 999.
Yes. They said the day would never come.
They literally said that to us.
I literally don't know who they is.
It was us last week. I'm Adam Menace.
And I'm Peter Martin.
And you're listening to the You'll Hear podcast.
Two dudes talking music, talking life, talking future,
Hey.
and talking the past.
I think it is an appropriate time to talk future, to talk past. It is episode number 999 of the You'll Hear It podcast. We're going to do a big celebratory.
It's just a number.
Hey, it's like your age, man. It's just a number.
Let's take a deep breath here. How many podcasts make it to 999 episodes relatively unscathed as we are?
Not very many.
Not very many.
For good
I'd like to
reason.
congratulate you.
For good reason.
Good to meet you. I'd like to congratulate you. A little self-congratulations as well.
We've been around.
We made it.
We've been around so long that we've had periods where we could shake hands. We've had periods where we were naturally shaking hands because we were so stuffed into a pod cave. We've had periods where we couldn't shake hands because we were at a long Batman-style dinner table with a piece of plastic in between us.
A giant musical sneeze guard.
That's right. We've done these from across oceans. We've done these at different times. We've done these live. We've done these recorded.
Right.
We've done them when we shouldn't have done them.
We've done them with COVID. Done them without.
We did them with the Bad Plus once. We've done
them at other venues.
We've done them everywhere.
We've been around the world at I. And today, this is kind of appropriate. So, if you're watching on the YouTubes, big shout out to the folks there. But we are.
What's up, Google?
We're in the middle of. You probably don't even know this. Elliot. This storm has a name.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Elliot.
It's a bomb cyclone.
I did not know that.
Bomb cyclone Elliot. Yeah.
It sounds like such a positive term. Oh man, that cyclone was the bomb.
This is the bomb. Yeah. No, we got a little bit of snow. Definitely a lot of cold here. I mean,
it's like 2 degrees.
Full disclosure, a little overhyped for me for all the, but it's cold.
You are nonplussed with this kind of talk about.
You know what? I've been in. I don't want to be like I've been places, but I've been at the furthest north university town in Norway.
You've been plussed there.
Yes, I was impressed with the snow, with the real storms. I mean, to me, 1 to 3 inches is not like hide your women, hide your children. Elliot's coming for you.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that.
Yeah.
But it's definitely cold.
Have you driven on Highway 70 though, in 1 to 3 inches?
See, that's the thing. I'm not plus because I don't get on the highways. Yeah. Oh no, I was on 170 this morning.
And 170 can be bad as well. It
hasn't started snowing yet though.
Oh, see,
I had to go out by the airport early this morning.
I was going to the airport once in the deep snow on Highway 70. I was kind of looping around downtown, and I saw in a row in front of me, 3 cars in a row, one after the other. Just their tails went out. They went around very slowly, just like it was in slow motion, Caleb. Like they went around very slowly, and bam, boom. And then I went past it, and then another one. I swear. Whoa, boom. And then one more. Yeah, boom. 3 cars in a row doing the little spin thing and into the median. This was not this storm. This was several years ago. But
we call that the three car Monty.
The 3-car Monty, yeah. You could not find the ball underneath all of those
That's right.
cars. But yeah, notorious. Not a snow driving town here. But it can be even worse than that. If you're in Texas and it rains hard, it can be bad.
That's right. That's right. And this storm's actually going all the way down into Texas and Louisiana and stuff.
Wow.
Sorry, I had to go get a beverage because we need to stay hydrated.
We do.
Even when it's cold. A lot of folks don't know that. But
so we have a list here of things that we are grateful for with the podcast, which I love that we're spending our 999th episode talking about gratitude. We're going to do a big blowout. Our favorite moments will be our 1000th episode, but for $9.99 we're going to do a little attitude of gratitude.
And this list could easily be 77.
Yep.
Could probably even be 777.
Well, easily, but it was much easier to do 7.
We've done a lot of lists of 7, which you know what? Can we make that our number 1 thing?
It actually makes the list here.
It does make the list. Yeah. We're going to change the order a little bit.
Okay.
Here, so our number 1, formerly number 5, but now number 1 of our 7 favorite gratitude items that we're grateful for. That's a little fussy, but you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Things we're grateful. 7 top things. Our list of 7.
Yeah.
Because that, I mean, we wouldn't want to say this podcast wouldn't exist without it, but there'd be a lot of dead space, a lot of dead air. if we didn't have that. How did we even start the list of 7?
I don't remember, actually. I know that we liked the number 7 as a nice odd number to do something.
Yeah.
It seemed like listing 7 things would give us enough time and like move us along.
Yep.
I don't remember a conversation about it. We probably stole it from another podcast if I know us, and I don't want to. But if I know us, we probably saw it in another podcast and we thought, oh, we'll try a list of 7. Right. And I think our very first episode was a list of 7, if I'm not mistaken. We must have done dozens, if not hundreds, of lists of 7s at this point. Yeah. And as our 999th episode is confirming, it just works really well. Now, you might say, well, why would you be grateful for a list, something as arbitrary as a list of 7? But there actually is... Nice.
All right, just a little
bit. 7-note scale.
Yeah.
There is, I think, something for us to take away here as musicians, as people who make things, that we use the list of 7, because it grabs people's attention. We're losing Peter big time.
No,
he's
yawning.
He's looking out at the snow. He wants to go sledding.
We're going to talk about that in a second. I have a coffee cup. Big shout out to Blueprint. If they don't become a sponsor this year, I'm going to boycott them.
Come on, Kevin.
But we didn't have any coffee this afternoon, which we normally do.
They're closed.
The storm is so bad. The bomb cyclone. They don't look at it as the bomb. So I did yawn, but you're not losing me, not yet.
So back to our list of 7s.
Yes, back to our regular schedule.
And why they work. And this can work, I think, when you're doing any kind of planning or any kind of presenting, is putting your thoughts and what you want to talk about into a list. And actually, a lot of these we do try to rank as far as like, how do we want to talk about it? Like, what do we want the flow to be? Well, number 1 is always listen. And that can become kind of a thing that you do when you do this often. But you also start to see trends. Well, listening, we didn't plan that number 1 would always be listening, but it was always, when we talked about what was in the hierarchy of things we were usually talking about, listen usually comes up as like the top thing, right? Yeah. Like the most important thing. And that alone is a lesson. But putting our thoughts into the list of 7, not only is it a great catchy thing, for the podcast itself, and you get used to it, it becomes its own trope, but I think just for making things, it can be very helpful.
Absolutely. All right, so number 2, we have...
Listen.
Well, kind of, it is sort of that.
Yeah.
Music.
Because
we listen to music. We are thankful for music, for which this podcast would not exist, because we are primarily talking about music. We're not just talking about traffic patterns on Interstate 70 in the greater St. Louis
area. No one would want to hear just that.
Nobody wants to hear that. But music is...
They just play the right note!
Or any notes, really.
Exactly. Yeah. Music is such a deep and beautiful well for both for entertainment and edification, uplifting our spirits, but then as a thing to study, to revel in, to talk about, to banter about, to joke about, to iterate on how we're going to get better. I mean, that's what we talk about here.
Big words there.
A lot of big words, but not that big. But you know what I'm saying though? Like, music it's like the gift that keeps on giving.
For sure.
It's such a beautiful thing, and I'm so grateful to have found it, both for the joy it brings me directly and the people that I've become associated with, because it becomes one of those like self-selecting things for friends and people you work with. Like, oh, you're into music. It's almost like a background check.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I'm always a little suspicious of people, not that don't love jazz or classical.
Yeah, I get
Stevie
that.
Wonder.
Oh, believe me, I get that.
Yeah. But people that are like, oh, I don't like music.
That's weird.
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't like water.
Yeah.
I prefer other beverages.
I don't enjoy trees or flowers.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't like art.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand I don't like abstract art.
Can I tell you, speaking of this attitude, Heather and I, years ago, before we had our second kid, we went to a little vacation in Hawaii. It was my only time ever being in Hawaii. Went to Kauai.
You might be going back.
Well, we'll see. We went to the Garden Island, Kauai. Beautiful, and we did the whole Nepali coast thing, and then there's this big trail that you can drive your car up.
Trail of Tears. I've heard about it.
Okay. This is
different one.
Fairly controversial. But you can drive sort of up the mountain, and then there's all these lookouts to, not the very last one is the famous Nepali coast, the Jurassic Park Lost coast, right? But then all the way up are all these beautiful inland canyons, which are gorgeous. We get up to the first one. It's just the most beautiful, dense rainforest, tropical jungle of a canyon. And this family gets out, and this lady had this stained Tweety Bird t-shirt on, and it's just like the worst. I mean, just the ugly American stereotype.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Well, it is
big,
technically America.
big 7-Eleven 44-ounce soda. She looks at the can and she
Big
goes,
gulp.
it's just a canyon. And walked back to her car. And I was like, if this doesn't do it for you, there's no hope.
Duke Ellington you're not going to be impressed with Duke Ellington.
if you look at this and say, just a canyon, seen these before, like, come on, man.
Now, Mingus Aum, now that's beautiful.
Yeah, now if she would have said that, I would have been like, oh, interesting. Okay, this lady has some interesting, Anyway, music is the greatest. Yeah. It's the greatest.
It's the greatest. Yeah. So thank you, music.
Number 3 of our top 7 things we're grateful for is you, our dear listener. Me? Not you. Well, you're.
Oh, them.
Those people over there. Yeah, they're obviously we don't get close to 1,000 without your amazing support and feedback and SpeakPipe questions, ratings and reviews, emails that we get from you, social media messages,
comments on the YouTube,
retweets, everything that you share and post and reach out to us with. We read all of it. We love all of it. And we hear you. You'll hear it. We'll hear you.
That's right.
And we're so grateful for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I mean, it goes beyond this wouldn't exist without you. It wouldn't. I mean, we did the first couple of episodes not knowing if there'd be anybody there. And we were very lucky to kind of connect with an audience kind of pretty quickly, and then it's grown from there. But the feedback that you guys give and the energy is the energy that keeps us going, especially the questions and that really frames things for us to be able to serve and to be able to hopefully add something fun and educational, but entertaining and all that kind of stuff. So thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts.
From the bottom of our hearts. Yeah. Number 4 is producer Caleb over here.
Producer Caleb.
Yeah, we are super grateful for you, Caleb.
Yes.
And Caleb, you're going to just play not only the avatar of yourself and all of the amazing things that you've done for us in the last year or so. It's about a year? Almost a year.
We're coming up on a year.
What's that? February will be a year for Caleb here at Open Studio.
Soon.
And but really, Caleb, you're going to play an avatar for our whole team of people that have helped us with this throughout the years. Producer Andrew Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Remember him, was our first producer. Of course, Dan Martin. We'll get into Open Studio a little bit later. Dan and Rachel and Sam and everybody and Ian and everyone who's ever touched anything having to do with You'll Hear It.
Yes.
Couldn't be more grateful for. Brian Fielding. Great suggestions, early supporter.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. What are we on, number 5?
Number 5.
Okay. Sorry, my
and then it's going to regulate after that.
I had a little bit of a program crash there for our delivery here, but I'm back on it. Ooh, I like this one. Number 5, growth mindset.
We're grateful for a growth mindset.
We are grateful for a growth mindset. Because
what does that mean?
Well, what does that mean?
What doesn't?
I ask you.
What doesn't that mean?
Yeah, what doesn't that mean?
Wait, I'm going to go figure it out. Because I can.
Yeah. I mean, I think that if there's any concept, except for perhaps listen, that we have not dredged up endlessly on this podcast, it would be growth mindset. But it both informs sort of the way we've put this together from the beginning. I mean, even from the very beginning of can we do a podcast? That was coming out of a growth mindset.
100%. Why don't you give the folks who might not know exactly just the elevator pitch for a growth mindset?
Yeah, so it basically means that tomorrow and later today and definitely next week and next month, you can do something. And by you, it could be individual or as a team, even stronger, or as an organization, a company, band, can do something that you can't imagine how the hell you could do it right now. It's to imagine that this can be something bigger. We can serve more. We can serve better. We can acquire knowledge. We can do something. And I think it also, the part about growth mindset that I love too, and I'm so much gratitude for it, is that it also gets us realizing that the pie is huge. It's not a fixed thing. So it's not like we have to get our podcast listeners. It's like, no, we can attach ourselves to others, and that there's plenty for everybody to go around. I think that's kind of the B side of growth mindset for sure. Wow, that is beautiful. Can we see that? I'm going to have to paint a picture for our dear audio listeners. Well, you can hear that. This is like old time radio. I love it when you hear that lifting up of, we are showing As the sun begins
It's
to
like the
set-
end of White Christmas.
Yes.
You just open up the back. Look at
Man,
that.
it got cold up in here. So we just opened up we didn't open the, if we'd opened the windows,
It was just
that-
getting a
this
little
would be
dark.
crazy.
And it looks
We opened
beautiful
up
out
our
there.
shades. So there is some insulation properties to that as well.
100%. Okay. Number 5 was growth mindset. Number 6, things we're grateful for the podcast, besides our beautiful pod suite
Yes.
here. Pod front. Sorry, this is the pod front. We've had 3.
It's
We've had 4.
confusing.
We've had the pod.
We're thankful for that.
We are. We're thankful, but we are more thankful for our special guests over the
Yes.
years. I'm talking about, listen to this list of
Yeah.
people we've talked to. You ready? Ron Carter,
Ever heard of him?
Anat Cohen,
Ever heard of her?
Diane Reeves, Nicholas Payton,
Wow.
Gregory Hutchinson,
Yep.
the entire host panel of Switched on Pop,
Right.
Rick Beato,
Charlie and Nate. Big
Charlie
shout
and
out to
Nate.
Charlie and Nate.
Rick Beato,
Rick Beato.
Cheryl Cassidy,
Yeah. Sherelle
War-
Cassidy.
Warren Wolf.
Yep.
That's what I said. Romero Lubambo,
Yes.
Christian McBride,
Sean Jones. And others like
Tina Fuller,
Tia Fuller.
Tia Fuller.
Tina Fuller. I like it.
Tina-
Give me some Tina Fuller.
I almost said Tina Fey for a second. Tia Fuller,
Yeah.
Sean Jones, Warren Wolf. Jeez, the list goes on and on.
Ruben Rogers.
Ruben Rogers,
Bob DeBoo.
DeBoo.
Hello.
Give me a
Sean
break.
Weil. What?
Kelly Martin.
Kelly Martin. Heather McCorkle.
Come on, man.
Right.
Brian Owens.
Who? We can say him again.
Said
No
Hutchinson, but
problem.
we'll say it again. Tina. Well, let's say Tina Fey while we're saying
Tina Fey. That
Come
was
on.
one of our. No, our guests have like infused this show with so much character and color and life and ideas for us, and it's been such a great way for us to connect. Remotely learning.
Fred
how-
Hirsch.
Fred Hirsch. They are probably our last guest we've had this year, right?
Yeah.
And so it's been a pleasure.
Emmett Cohen.
Emmett Cohen.
I feel like Brian Owens right now. Are you kidding me right
Brian
now? Brian Owens.
Chris Hansen on the Lost episode.
The lost episode. Victor Goins.
Victor Goins. Kababi Bayak.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
The New Jazz Underground.
One of the few that we reached out to something, but that was a cold call on our part.
Connie Hahn.
Connie Hahn.
I said that in my
Forget
thickest
about it.
St. Louis accent. Connie Hahn.
But we're so thankful for our guests. They brought
Peter Bernstein.
Peter Bernstein, Larry Golding.
Come on.
Almost.
Don't rub it in.
No, but it's been fun to connect with folks and to know that good folks are listening out there, that we can bring some stars on and do our little part. And I mean, look, Ron Carter probably goes straight to that top of the list. Have we told the story about? I don't know if we've told it. We're not going to do the whole thing, but that's how we met. Well, I had met Ron Carter before, but how we really became introduced. He was watching some of our videos and maybe listening to the pod and reached out about coming on the pod, which was amazing. And really went to a beautiful relationship. We did 2 interviews with Mr. Carter, the maestro.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Well, he was watching us and we had no idea.
Yeah.
So should we tell the funny
That's
story?
how bored he was, and like just during the pandemic,
Yeah.
his life was reduced down after
To watching
He's
us.
Like, wow,
Yeah.
we all adjust as we need to.
Look how beautiful it is out there. Well, I want to go have a
It's
snowball
got a blue
fight.
tinge. It kind of matches your blue sweater vest. So not a vest.
Can we we need to do an open studio Jazz St. Louis snowball fight today. That would be
I
really
need to
fun.
get some warm clothes on before we do that. To be honest with you, as I'm freezing right now.
So let's tell the Ron Carter story because this is a little trip down memory lane. We're almost
I just
done.
told it while you were doing that.
Excellent. Okay, number 7. Finally, number 7 of the things we're grateful
Of
for.
our 7 top things that we're grateful for.
Ready?
Yes.
Fred Armisen.
I'm not a fan of jazz.
No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, he didn't make our list.
Roadcaster.
Now, would that be something you might be interested in?
I
These
choose
are important things, but they're more behind the scenes,
Divine
Adam.
I mean, listen, we talking about practice.
Alan
You just
Iverson.
play the right
not a
note.
game. Not a game.
Yeah, Alan Iverson. That was Jenny from the. What's her name? Not Jenny.
Angela.
Angela. I knew that
If
was.
you're Caleb, if your friend at that company needs sound design help, just let me know.
That's right.
I'm ready to
No, those
go.
are all important things, but none of them are as important as our lead sponsor. Oh, big shout out to all of our
All
sponsors.
sponsors
that have fallen off. Over
Yeah,
the
Spindrift.
time.
Nope. Never happened.
Blueprint. Nope. Couldn't close that deal.
Spectrasonics.
No. Oxford American.
Oxford American was
shout
our
out to-
very
that was our
first
very first
sponsor.
sponsor.
Yeah.
Little thing called what was the app? Maybe that's why we don't have sponsors. We forget their names. The app, Anytune.
Any
Big
tune.
shout out.
I was
That's a
like,
great
what?
app. I was just using that again.
Yeah.
Because I have the program. Yeah.
It's so good, man. Anytune is a legit great.
Yeah. But big shout out to our sponsors. But big shout
Grace
out to our
Note Coffee.
Yes.
Remember Grace Note Coffee?
Grace Note.
That
Got
was
a
a
good
great
story to tell
sponsor.
about them. So anyway, what we wanted, number 7 on our gratitude list is actually Open Studio.
Yeah.
And, Open Studio is the sponsor. We're on the Open Studio Podcast Network. And we are the keynote, not the first, not the last, but the keynote podcast, the piece de resistance of our podcast list. And it's great that Open Studio has given us these facilities, this opportunity to do this. And it's been such a fun way for new folks to come in and discover, the Open Studio vibe by way of this pod. I don't think it gets any more authentic than what we do on the pod for Open Studio. Would you say that?
It is the most authentic version of ourselves here. I think you're used to this in B flat, aren't you?
I like it. That's the original.
Yeah. Snow, you kidding me? Well, happy holidays, everybody. Congratulations, Peter. $9.99.
Yeah, they said we wouldn't make it.
We said we would make it, and we did. We're doing our 1000th episode spectacular next week. Catch that, number 1000. And then we'll talk about maybe what we're going to do after that. We don't really know, but...
Ooh, sounds ominous, but exciting.
But exciting.
Happy holidays, y'all.